Hi students, today we are going to look into Unit 2, especially wind energy under storage devices. And the course outcome for this lesson is to impart knowledge on various energy storage sources, and the Bloom's taxonomy level is applied. The learning outcome is at the end of this lecture, you'll be able to gain knowledge on wind energy. Okay, so what is wind energy? Energy from the force of wind is called wind energy. It is used to convert wind energy to mechanical energy. So first of all, wind energy is converted into kinetic energy, then to mechanical, and finally to electrical energy. So windmills and wind farms, a single 1 megawatt windmill turbine operating at 45% production rate will generate about 3.9 million kilowatt of electricity in a year. And this would be enough to meet the needs of about 500 households per year. A wind farm will consist of anywhere from 12 to 100 of these 1 megawatt windmills. Okay, so collection of windmills, we call it as wind farms. And if we consider the early history, the first recording of a windmill came from a Hindu book dating back to about 400 BC. Okay, scientists believe that the first windmill created to do work were created in China 2000 years ago, but we don't have any record for that. But the first recorded windmill was found in 7th century in Persia. The first historical reference to Chinese windmill was in 1219 along the coast of China for wind power. Some windmills are still intact in Iran and Afghanistan from the 7th century. Okay, so these windmills are reverse of the windmills today. However, wind energy went into a chamber to turn blades, while today the blades are on the external axis. So they are still around today and can grind about a tons of grain per day. After technology was introduced, early European windmills were used to drain wetland by pumping water. And the design was in such a manner like water wheels due to the fact that windmills should be put on a vertical axis when the windmills in Persia were built on a horizontal axis. And foundation for windmill was set first of all. After that, they changed the blades and other ways to make the windmill more efficient. By the end of 19th century, there were over 30,000 windmills in Europe. This was used not only for grinding grain but also to turn sawmills and other industrial plants. And in America, Dutch in 17th and 18th century assembled in New York and New England. Dutch style windmills would fall apart in the strong wind that would sweep across the plains. So a designer in New England, Daniel Halliday, created a new windmill for conditions in the Midwest. He made a new windmills have many blades and a tail on the back to direct the wind. Few years later, these new windmills were made with selected blades. And also they changed the steel blades could be curved to maximize the wind production. And when it came to electrification, until last 19th century, windmills would only produce mechanical power for grinding grain or pumping water. And finally, generator was attached and used to create power for heating and lighting. And in 1888, by Charles F. Brush, the first windmill used to produce electric energy. So these windmills needed to produce 500 revolution per minute in order to power a generator. And now in 1930s to 70s, coal and oil were relatively inexpensive and wind energy lost its popularity in America, though windmills were used in many other countries throughout the world. In 1973, the Arab oil embargo was America was affected by Arab oil embargo. So this caused focus to turn toward wind power. So the US Federal Wind Energy Program was established in 1974, and by the late of 1980 it was becoming very difficult to attract funding. Okay, modern wind power is a strong option for alternative energy, and its rich history proves it can be used effectively. So, wind in action. So, when wind strikes an object, it exerts a force in an attempt to move it out of the way. Some of the wind's energy is transferred to the object, and in this case, the windmill causing it to move. And wind today, windmills are used for pumping water from deep underground, and modern wind turbine is the result of design and material advancement after 1980s to 1990s, which enabled wind turbine to become increasingly efficient. Today, wind turbines are size same as the traditional European windmill, but it can generate 250 to 300 kilowatts of power, a nearly tenfold increase in efficiency. And already we discussed the history of wind. Uh, how how do you convert wind into electricity? So wind turbines convert the kinetic energy into mechanical power, and this mechanical power can be used for specific tasks like grinding grain or pumping water, or generation can convert this mechanical power into electricity. So a wind turbine works most probably in the opposite of a fan. Instead of using electricity to make a wind like a fan, wind turbines use wind to make electricity. The wind turns the blades, which spins a shaft which connects to a generator and makes turns. The energy in the wind turns two or three propeller-like blades around the rotor. The rotor is connected to the main shaft, which spins a generator to create electricity. And wind turbines are mounted on a tower to capture most of the energy. At 100 feet or 30 meters or more above the ground, they can take advantage of faster and less turbulent wind. So this is a construction of a windmill. We have, okay, this is wind turbine. Let us discuss in detail. We have pitch, rotor, blades, generator, and tower. Let us see how this works. Okay. Number two is the rotor. Number two is the rotor. The rotor provides the blades to rotate. And number four is the brake. Okay, so it's very important to have a brake in the wind turbine. If something is wrong or it's going too fast, then it will brake and stop the wind turbine. And number five, this is a low speed shaft. It goes into a big cog wheel, and this goes into a smaller cog wheel. The small cog wheel rotates faster than the big cog wheel. Number seven is the generator. Number seven. This is the generator. It's almost like a generator in a car. Okay. And number 13 is yaw draw. It makes the wind turbine rotate in the wind direction. This is yaw draw. And number 15 is the tower. The entrance is placed in the bottom of the tower. Okay. So how does a wind turbine works? Wind turbine operates on a small principle. The energy in the wind turns the propeller like blades around the rotor. The pitch of the blades makes optimum use of the wind direction, and the rotor is connected to a main drive shaft which spins a generator to create electricity. Wind turbines are mounted most probably on a tower to capture the most of the energy. As I told you, 30 meters more above the ground. And wind turbines can be used to produce electricity for a single home or building, or they can be connected to an electricity grid for more widespread electricity distribution. As far as advantages are concerned, we don't have any pollution and lowest prices. Renewable resources don't produce atmospheric emissions that cause acid rains and greenhouse effects, whereas the disadvantages are depending on how energetic a wind site is, the wind farm may or may not be cost competitive, and wind energy cannot be stored unless batteries are used, and good wind sites are often located in remote locations. Wind resource development may compete with other uses for the land, and those alternative uses may be more highly valued than electricity generation. Sometimes birds have been killed by flying into the rotors. So these are some of the disadvantages, and this is the second largest offshore wind farm in the world. Um, Let us see what are the advantages onshore and onshore disadvantage. Onshore advantage is that a regular onshore turbine lasts for 20 years. Normally, it takes about 2 to 3 months before the wind turbine has paid itself back. It is cheaper foundation, cheaper integration with electrical grid network. But the disadvantage is that the turbines are noisy. Some level of noise as a family car traveling 70 miles per hour. Okay, some people think that the large towers of wind turbines destroys the view of the landscape. Onshore or offshore? Offshore advantage. Offshore wind turbine is stronger than onshore turbine. It lasts around 25 to 30 years and produces about 50% more energy than onshore turbine. And when a strong wind blows, it produces around 3 to 5 megawatt per hour, higher and more constant wind speed, whereas offshore disadvantages more expensive to build and more difficult to maintain and access. And this is London Array, world's largest onshore wind farm. The general advantage is it is friendly to the surrounding and less space than average power station, and combined with solar electricity, this energy source is great for developed and developing countries to provide a steady and reliable supply of electricity. And the main disadvantage regarding wind is the power is down to the wind's unreliability factor. In many areas, the wind strength is not enough to support a wind turbine, and the wind turbines generally produce a lot less electricity than the average fossil fuel power station, which means that multiple wind turbines are needed to make an impact. So, we discussed about wind energy, windmill, and wind farm. Okay, and also we discussed about the merits and demerits. So, the